what I eat in a day on a carnivore diet. Are you interested? Hey, what's shaking bacon? I hope everyone's doing well out there. Thank you for tuning into the video. So if you like this video and you enjoy the content, please leave a comment and subscribe. It really supports the channel. I really appreciate that. So I've had a couple requests from people who have wondered what exactly I eat in a day. So the quick answer and the easy answer is I mainly use ground beef as my staple just because it's easy, but I'm going to show you some other meals I make when I have more time throughout the day. Ground beef is my go-to food because it's easy to prepare, it's easy to store, and it's easy to just grab and go when it's in a burger patty form. So I tend to stick with that, but I also like cooking other foods. So I just bought an air fryer a few weeks ago, and you're gonna see how I've been using it. I haven't been doing that much of it because I'm only eating like 5 ounces of meat at a time typically, sometimes 6, depending on how lean the cut is. But I do honestly prefer sous vide steak to any other type of steak. So I've had air fried steak. It tastes good. Don't get me wrong. Don't crucify me for this. But I love sous vide way more. It's way juicier. It has a really beautiful texture to it. All you have to do is sear the outside afterwards and it's beautiful. Both are good. I think one is great. And that just comes down to personal preference. But you got to try both. And you got to try different cuts with both to see what you like. Well, it looks like we lost our background light. I'm not going to worry about it because the rest of this video is pretty much just going to be audio. I haven't been doing too much with my sous vide cooking because I've been trying to experiment more with the air fryer. Okay, so I got a Ninja air fryer. I really enjoy this so far. It's easy to clean, it's easy to use, and it's smokeless. That's one of the big attractions I have with this. So this is a steak that I made. It's a 5-ounce sirloin beef steak. It was 38 grams of protein, a couple more grams than I allow myself at a time, but I'm not going to get too finicky because sometimes I'm a little bit lower than my 35-gram goal. So I'm not too concerned about it. So I cooked it for a few minutes. I started cooking it raw and I put it on high to get a sear at the end. I don't know the limitations it has as far as being smokeless when it comes to being an air fryer. So anyway, I also bought some ghee. Now I normally use butter with all my meals to add fat because it's just easy. It's easy to transport. I get these little sticks of butter and they're easy to take anywhere I go and I can just cut into it, no problem. But this steak, I wanted to go an extra step. So I grabbed some ghee from the local health food store. I've never had ghee before, and I have to say, it was really nice. So I'm not endorsing this particular brand at all. It's just something that I found was really the only option. I wanted to go for medium chain triglycerides, MCT oil, and what I found is it's all coconut oil. I'm not going to supplement my carnivore diet with coconut oil or any other type of fruit or vegetable oil. So ghee it is. Ghee has a lot of MCTs in it. So I poured some of it on, and then on top of that beautiful ghee on top of the steak, which lots of nice steakhouses do, by the way, they put butter or ghee on top of your steak. And that's typically the steakhouses where you're paying a lot of money. Boy, when I salted it, it came out great. I was a big fan of the steak. The only thing that would have made it better, and I'm sorry to say, is if I cooked it with a sous vide machine. But that being said, I recorded lots of this footage with my camera, and I didn't use my gimbal, so it was shaky. So I slowed a lot of the footage down. Now it came out okay. It was my first time using an air fryer, and quite honestly, it is such a ridiculously small amount of food for me. That one bite of food, it's really something I would have just gotten rid of in seconds a long time ago. But because it's a small amount of food, I really wanted to savor this. So that's what I did. I had small bites to make it last a little bit longer so I would enjoy it a little bit further. I do like my steak a little more rare, and when you cook sous vide, it's medium rare, and that's the way I like it. Edge to edge. There's none of this layering in the center like you see where it's pink in the center and well done on the outer edges. Now I know I can tweak that better with the air fryer eventually, and I can cook it from frozen, but still, I really do prefer sous vide. But no complaints with this either. So this is a tablespoon of butter, and I just wanted to show it in comparison with something like a fork because this is a very small plate I was serving my dinner on. And this Tupperware serving dish really doesn't show how little amount of butter that is. So beside a fork, it really kind of shows off the volume of the butter. So that's 1 tablespoon's worth. And I have at least 3 of those with a steak that size. That was a 5-ounce steak. So this is me doing food prep for the week. Now I did some bacon. So each of these burgers are 6-ounce patties, and the protein per serving is really good. I want to try and stick to 35 grams of protein per serving. And this bacon, I have to look again. I looked yesterday when I cooked all this, but the bacon works out to be that I can have something like 7 slices of bacon with this bacon. It's a really good quality bacon. It doesn't shrink much. It's a little thinner than I normally like cooking with this time. I don't know why they cut it so thin this time in particular, but it's really good. Often when you cook bacon, it's so greasy. You have to change the pan out once or twice, and this wasn't. I really like cooking with this brand of bacon. It comes from a local grocery store. They have their own bacon, their own house brand bacon, and it's good. It doesn't have much sugar in it, and I really enjoy using it. I can't say enough good things about it. So as far as my go-to meals go, like I said, burger patty and butter is something I can quickly take on the go. It's easy, so I'll make this a meal, sometimes at dinner, and quite often I just have it on a napkin and I just have slices of butter. My butter is always in the fridge or freezer, so it's easy to just grab and go with it. I find instead of getting one big brick of butter, these little bricks, it's like a regular pound of butter, but in 4 separate little packages, makes it so much easier. Before I was always cutting into the same package of butter, and it was becoming a headache because that package would get ripped, torn apart more and more each time I used it, because I was trying to unwrap cold foil and it just didn't go well. So it was a real pain in the butt whenever I was getting down to the last section of the butter. So when I use these small ones, they don't have time to get messy. I go through one pretty much a day, ballpark, and I haven't actually figured out exactly how much I'm going through in a day with the butter. That right there is over 2 tablespoons of butter, and that's what I normally go with each serving of hamburger. So I had to slow all this video down just because it was a little too shaky. Just as a reminder, I have not one of these, but I have usually 3 of these, sometimes 4, depending on how lean the meat is. If I'm having wings, I'll have more. So this is my burger patties for the week. I've already cooked them, let them cool down before I put them in the package. I normally put them in a container with a Tupperware lid. It's like a ceramic container with a Tupperware lid, but I actually left it at work, so I was forced to use baggies this time. Now, why do I have a bunch in a big baggie and a bunch of other ones in small baggies? Well, the reason for that is it's so much easier because I know myself, I won't be prepared for work every day. Sometimes I'm rushing out of the house because I drag my heels getting other things done and dilly-dallying all through the day. So I keep a bunch in a bag that I have easy access to, and I have a couple small bags for those emergencies when I have to run out, and I can quickly just grab one of those packages and a stick of butter from the butter container in the fridge door. So it really works out well for me. I prepare for those emergencies, and sometimes it's due to situations beyond my control, but normally I'm responsible for it. It's normally my fault. I procrastinate and I just dawdle and do other things. So I like having food that's prepared. I think that's the key when doing this way of eating. If you're going to make every single meal, doing 4 meals a day is going to be really tough. It's going to be a lot of cleaning and it's going to be a lot of prep work in the kitchen. But when you can make your staple easy, then you're going to have time later on in the day if you decide you want to treat yourself with something a little different and you got to put a little bit more effort into it. You got time to do that. The nice thing about this is the work in the kitchen drops a lot, and doing high fat has really affected my grocery bill in a positive way because I'm not eating nearly as much food in a day. Having way less food, even though I'm having more butter to compensate, is really a wonderful thing. My butter bill's gone up, but my meat bill has gone way down. So here we are. I've also cooked wings. Now, the way I cook wings is pretty interesting. I'll cook wings in my air fryer for about 10 or 11 minutes, temperature probably around 350. And then for the last 2 minutes or so, I crank the heat up to high so I get a nice sear on the outside of the wings, and it works every time. So you'll see here, there's 6 wings. It's actually just under a pound of wings, but that's just a little bit too much protein for what I need. So afterwards, I put it in a bowl and I put some more ghee on it. This is the first time I tried ghee with wings. It was phenomenal on the steak, and I enjoyed it more than I do butter. I'm now putting some Slap Ya Mama on it. And I noticed when I put Slap Ya Mama on here, and I'm sorry it's so shaky, my apologies, but when I put Slap Ya Mama on this with butter as a sort of sauce, I find you lose the flavor of the seasoning. I don't know if it's because so much of it sticks to the bowl, but I mix it up and it comes out good. It comes out like an even coating. It's really nice, but I found it just wasn't enough the last couple times I did it. So at the end, I put a little bit more. And I know it looks like a lot, but trust me, it tasted really nice. And another thing I did is I added just a pinch of salt. Just a pinch of salt on top of this. Here's a few dishes that I've cooked. I've cooked wings, I've cooked burgers, I've cooked steak, I've done it in an air fryer, I've barbecued. That's the amount of butter I use with those wings afterwards, because you have to have more butter with it because it's a leaner cut of meat. So I know I'm going in the right direction with this. So it's a matter of making sure I keep my lean mass up. And if you enjoyed this video, like I said, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot. I have some other videos you could check out. Thanks for tuning in, and I really appreciate it. Tell me what some of your dishes are that you're eating throughout the day.